Chapter 36. It wasn't hard to find Rodeo. The moon was bright, darn near full. There was a little path winding out from the back of the parking lot and down through some trees. I walked along the path, through the trees, under the moonlight, and down to a little river. It wasn't big, but it was pretty there in the silver light. Out a ways in the water was a little sandbar island. On that island was a log, washed up and setting there. And on that log was Rodeo, sitting with his back to me. I stepped out of my flip-flops. The water wasn't that cold, and it wasn't that deep. Didn't even come up to my knees. It was August, after all. I barely noticed it. The island sand was soft under my bare feet. It would have felt good. I came round to stand in front of him. He didn't even look at me. Just lifted the bottle to his lips and took a long gulp and drink. Rodeo? Nothing. Rodeo! Finally, his eyes slid to me. What? I hesitated. I was good at rodeo. I knew, usually, how to push him, how to pull him, how to play him. But this was different. This was bad. I don't like it when you drink, Rodeo. Rodeo's eyes filled up. Yeah? Well, me neither, little bird. He leaned his head back, took another drink. But here we are. I just stood there looking down at him, my mind stumbling, my blood pounding. He looked up at me. We ain't going, he said. Yes, we are, I answered. Nope, I ain't going back and neither are you. I ain't jumping into quicksand, Sugar Plum, and I ain't letting you jump in either. We're staying safe, you and me, together. No, Rodeo, I have to. No, it's a no-go, period. I'm sorry, but this ends now, before you get hurt. I took one breath, then another, hard breaths. Breaths that stuck in my throat and stung my nose. Breaths that fought without sobs for room in my lungs. It was time to put it all out there. No regrets, sister. Too late, I said, and Rodeo squinted up at me and said, what? And I said, before I get hurt? It's too late for that, Rodeo. Way too late. I'm already hurt. I've been hurt. I've been hurting for 5 years by you. You're hurting me right now. So don't sit there and tell me this is about us not getting hurt. It ain't. It's about you, which is all it's ever been about. Rodeo's mouth was hanging open. No, little Plum, no. Listen, we don't need this. We don't need to. I need this. I do. I can't keep doing what we've been doing anymore. I can't. I need to do this. And I need you, Daddy. Even in the moonlight, I saw him go pale when I said that word I hadn't been allowed to say in 5 years, so I said it again. I need you, Daddy. The sobs won then. They pushed the breathing out, and all the moonlight looked like diamonds through my tears. Rodeo rocked back. He looked away from me hard, not just with his eyes, with his whole head off into the darkness. Hey, he said, his voice trembling. Hey now, you know you can't call me. Why? Why, Daddy? I felt like a little girl calling him Daddy, but I didn't care. Not at all. I already felt like a little girl anyway, with my voice all broken and tears running hot down my face. And I didn't care, not at all. My feelings were so big they were choking me and squeezing the air out of my lungs and pushing the tears out of my eyes, and I couldn't breathe or see, and all I could do was feel, feel, feel. I wanted to feel like a little girl. I wanted to. I wanted to feel like a little girl who has a daddy, who wraps his arms around her and makes everything okay. I wanted to feel like a little girl who has a daddy, period. You know why, Coyote. You know why, partner. His voice was hollow, tender, begging. I'm not your partner, I gasped out through my crying. I'm your daughter. One of your daughters. Stop it, Coyote, he said sharp. But the words were sharp with fear, not anger. That's enough now. We are deep in no-go territory here. I don't care. Why can't you be my dad? It's what you're supposed to be. It's what I'm supposed to call you. Rodeo's chin dropped to his chest. You know why. Because when you call me that, I hear them. I can hear their voices saying it when you say it. Lord, he sounded so sad, but that was all right, because I was sad too. Then you're lucky, I said. You're so darned lucky and you don't even know it, because I never hear them. I used to, right after I'd hear them. Ava, Rose, Mom. I saw each name hit him like a slap, but I didn't slow down. I'd hear them when I woke up. I heard them in the middle of the night. I'd hear some kid talking in the next aisle in the grocery store. and I'd swear for a second it was one of them. But I don't anymore, Daddy. I don't even hear them. I barely even remember what their voices sounded like, and I hate it. And you're trying to keep them quiet? I'd give anything to hear them again. Rodeo shook his head. That ain't no way to live, Sugar Bear, living in the past like that. We need to live for right now today, for no, I'm done with all that garbage. I've been listening to your excuses for 5 years and I'm done with that. Remember ain't a past tense word. It's a right now word. The kind of person I want to be right now today is the kind of person that remembers my mama and my sisters right now today and tomorrow and every day. I'm not going to go one more day without them, not one more minute, not one more second. I can't. I'm not saying I missed them. I'm saying I miss them right now, today. And I'm not saying I loved them. I love them right now, today. My dad blinked up at me. He was crying. It just about killed me, but oh well, my job wasn't to take care of him, not anymore. My job was to take care of me. Then he said it. He said it so quiet I barely heard it. Said it so small that his lips hardly moved, but he said it. Me too. My breath caught in my throat. I gasped, a little gasp, but a gasp still. I lowered my voice, made it soft, but I had 3 words to say, and I said them hushed, like a prayer. Say my name. There was a pause. Coyote. No, that ain't my name. Say it. Say my name, Dad. He opened his mouth, closed it, shook his head. I wanted to hug him. I wanted to kneel down in the sand and take his hands in mine. I wanted to say, use my t-shirt to dry the tears off his face. But I did not. Nope. I stood there strong. So he stood up, stepped toward me, wrapped me in a hug, and said, come on, little bear, in his broken voice. But I didn't hug him back. I reached quick into his back pocket, and I pulled out Jaeger's keys. I stepped back and gave Rodeo a shove, soft and small, but a shove all the same. And he kind of dropped back down into the log, his eyes looking unbelieving at the keys I held. Lester can drive, I said. I'll come back and pick you up after. But I don't have time to wait. I'm going. He shook his head. Don't leave me, Coyote. I don't want to, but you got to say my name. Because if you can't say my name, that means I don't matter to you. And if I don't matter to you, well, I don't know. My voice cracked, froze, caught its balance, and stumbled on. I know you don't need me, Dad, but I need you. I need a dad, even if you don't need a daughter. His jaw dropped open. He took 3 big breaths right in a row. Oh, he said, and then, oh. And then he dropped the bottle he was holding, and he fell forward onto his knees. Honey, he said, how could you think that I don't need you? You're all I got. You're all I care about in this whole world. I couldn't see anything now. I blinked, but it didn't do any good. Then prove it. Say my name, my real name, please. He reached up. He grabbed my hands, and he said it. Ella. He choked a little. But then he cleared his throat and said it again. Ella. I love you, Ella. I love you, Ella. And he hugged me. He hugged me tight around my waist, and I stood there getting hugged by my dad, crying. Let me tell you something, he said. You know that 3rd question? The sandwich question? You know why I asked that one? Heck no, I said. It ain't about their answer. I don't care what they say. I don't even listen. I don't even look at them when they answer it. I look at you, Ella. I watch you watching them, and I can tell by the way you look at them whether or not we should let them on board. That's all. He let go and leaned back so he could look me in the face. You're my compass. You're what tells me which way to go whenever I'm lost, which is darn near all the time. That 3rd question don't mean nothing, sweet girl. You're the 3rd question, and you're the answer, too. I looked down at him. Dad, I said, and he said, what? And I said, I need to go home, and I need to go there with you. And he said, okay. And then he said, I'm so sorry. And then I said, I don't need you to be sorry sitting here. I need you to be sorry sitting on that bus. And then he said, let's go. And that was that.